Hello everyone. It's a beautiful day. I'm out here with the squirrels and the geese and the ducks. My name is Nate Cap and welcome to the 9th episode of Outcasting, where I'm doing my best to share bits of science towards freedom. And today I'd like to talk about my detox that I just took. And I didn't really talk about this on the last show, but I talked, if you follow me on Telegram, you'll know that I always post some things that are going on in my life that I don't really talk about on this show. But if you follow me, you'll know that I just took a detox for a week, and I want to talk about that. And then I also want to talk about some other updates and the logo of my show and outcasting, what that means. And I also want to talk about the next show, if I get time for that, and what to expect on the CubbyWhole podcast. So first, I just want to make sure that I make the correction from my last show where I talked about the Illuminati family bloodline and who to look into for that. I talked about Adam Weishaupt, and I actually misspelled missaid his name. I said Adam Weisenhaupt, so I just wanted to correct that. It's actually Adam Weishaupt. So that's just one little thing I wanted to get out of the way before I go any further. And also, so my detox, my cleanse that I took from social media and movies on the TV, and just watching. I watch YouTube videos and Rumble videos and Odyssey videos, and anything that I'm watching is, or I would say 95 to 97% of the time, it's something that's beneficial. When I get on social media, I see a lot of political bullshit, and I try to avoid that all the time anyway, but I still see it because I use social media to share my information, and I also like to see what other people share to look into, especially if it has anything to do with anything beneficial. So that's usually what I'm watching for. But I took a detox from that. I actually saw a YouTube video where a guy, it's something I already knew, that to cleanse the dopamine, to get a dopamine, cleanse, you really have to take breaks periodically from social media and things like that, just to, feel a little better and feel a little bit more rejuvenated, which I did. I actually have been dreaming really clear, and I'm able to remember my dreams a lot more. That's one thing I noticed. And also, I have been a little bit more creative, but definitely more motivated. I've read more and wrote more, and just got a lot of things done that I haven't been getting done, which is nice. And it is really, really, it has really shown me that I want to do this a little bit more often, but maybe in a different way. I definitely used my phone still just to send important texts and read emails for my business and things like that. So I did still use the screen a little bit, but definitely stayed off social media, and that was a big plus. And I feel that it was really nice. I read some Manly P. Hall, The Secret Teachings of All Ages. I've read a lot of that, and I read Robert Brown's Stellar Theology and Masonic Astronomy, which is a great little pamphlet book that I have been wanting to read for a while, and yeah, I'm just trying to think of anything else. But yeah, I let everybody know that on Telegram, and so if you follow me on there, you'll see my updates and everything. But also, I wanted to talk about my symbol for this show, or sigil. And sorry, I gotta change hands here. So I wanted to talk about outcasting and the sigil that I use. So the sigil, or symbol, however you'd like to call it, is the equilateral triangle with the rising sun on the left and then the moon crescent going from top to bottom on the right. And I'm not going to get too far into what this symbol means. There's so much I could say about it. I mean, if you really want to know more about it, then I highly recommend starting at podcast number 1 and working way forward to show 53 at least on the CubbyWhole podcast, because you will definitely learn what that sigil really means to a high degree. But basically, you have the sun, the solar energy, which is the sacred masculine, and the moon, the lunar, being the sacred feminine, coming together with the triangle being illumination. It's the Holy Trinity. And when you think about the tagline for the show is bits of science towards freedom. Well, if we want to free ourselves, we have to climb the mountain, so to speak, because the mountain is akin to our journey, our journey upwards, or raising our consciousness and going through the struggles that it takes to get to that high point. So when you look at the image of the equilateral triangle with the puzzle pieces, the green outlined puzzle pieces, well, it makes a snow cap at the top. And I did that on purpose to make it look like a mountain. And so basically those puzzle pieces are the bits of science towards freedom, the pieces of knowledge, the eclectic array of information that it takes to climb that spiritual mountain, so to speak. So then what was the other thing that I wanted to talk about? Well, so it's important to recognize that this symbol is about outcasting. And why is that? Well, because I am casting out information from what I know, because the sacred masculine and sacred feminine, the sun and moon are coming together, the energies are coming together to create a sacred union, which is illumination. And illumination, when you have the illumination, when you know what you understand and have taken in, assembling your grammar and coming to a logical understanding of what it is that you know, then comes, so that's when we become illuminated, so we can start casting out information from within. So casting out is wisdom. It is the output. So I'm casting out information from my heart, my soul, from what I know, to other people, to you, to help reduce suffering and slavery in this world. And that's moving towards freedom. So as we understand the trivium process, then we can understand what outcasting really means. Or you're You can probably come up with many reasons why it's outcasting, but I'm telling you from what I know and understand why I'm using it is to cast out, because I'm spell casting. I'm using the uppercase will to cast out information, to spell cast, to put information out there for the benefit of evolving the human species. That is what will help us evolve towards freedom, because we're not here to be slaves. And so that is one of the reasons for the name, for the title, Outcasting. Now, also, it is because I'm outcasting from the CubbyWhole. So I have symbolically or metaphorically come out of the CubbyWhole to cast out information. And I am an outcast of society. I am not part of mentally, I'm not part of this system. So, and spiritually, I'm definitely not part of this system. So I am an outcast to the, the program. And, I'm doing my best. I'm not saying I'm completely detached, because there is, I can't be completely detached, because this is layers and layers and layers of mind control and programming. And I'm doing my best to not only deprogram myself and know how much I've deprogrammed, know what it means, and actually know that I'm not under mind control in most ways. But, I'm trying to put this information out at the same time after I've assembled my grammar and came to an understanding of what it is that I know, so that way I can help you guys awaken your kundalini, your inner self, so that way you want to do the work and help out, because this is how we are fighting back in this spiritual mental war, by sharing information like this. So once we understand this word outcasting, it starts to make sense why I use this title and why I use the subtitle, Bits of Science Towards Freedom, and why I use the sigil that I created to help us understand that we're not going to get out of this unless we have a balanced married mind, sacred feminine, sacred masculine come together in an alchemical wedding marriage, so that way we're balanced and we're illuminated. We're a true Illuminati. Okay, anybody who is really, paying attention really is the true Illuminati, who is actually doing the work, the great work. And yeah, that's really, all I'm going to share for that. I mean, like I said, if you want to understand the occult reasons for why I created that sigil and all that, you'll figure it out once you have done the studies and understand the symbolism and understand the aspects of consciousness. And I'm going to share a lot of that as I go through these shows. So don't think I'm trying to withhold information. I'm not. You can actually go to the CubbyWhole and see for yourself, listen, and you will definitely not be let down by the information that is shared on that show. So now I want to give some updates on the CubbyWhole podcast. And the last show was actually back in December, I think December 17th, and it's been a long time, and I haven't got a chance to do a new show because I've been working so hard on, well, there's been a lot of other issues that arose the beginning of this year, and also I wanted to work on my content creating and be better at, just doing these shows without really any edits, just try to go make it all the way through without having to edit anything, but also make it into a really cool new design, using video and slides, and just trying to enhance my content creating and be more well-rounded, more versed in that area. So I've been working really hard on that, and that's why I created Outcasting and making it a solo show. But that doesn't. I'm thinking about bringing on guests, but it's not going to be, it's going to be a like a spin-off of Outcasting kind of thing. So still in the works. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do that, but just figured I'd throw it out there. And so the CubbyWhole, I am working on the new show. It's really just going to be it's going to be a show of updates, but it's also going to tie everything together, and it's going to be a very important show because it's going to get everybody ready for what's to come. And I really think it's important to look into those shows so you understand this show better. But with the CubbyWhole podcast, I would say the first show is going to come out within the next week or two. I'm going to try. I can't guarantee that, but I will be posting updates on my Outcasting with Nate Cap on Telegram. So definitely, if you want to know more about that, you can go there and you'll see the updates. And so I'm going to be getting more into the degrees of Freemasonry. So if that's something that sparks your interest, I highly recommend going into that, checking it out, because people are very confused by Freemasonry. They don't really understand what it means, what it is, how it works, and how it's one of the most powerful things that any human being could ever understand. Now, I'm going to go ahead and, I wanted to say the next show that I'm going to be getting into is truth discovery with the symbol of the circled dot. So definitely stay tuned for that, because that's really, really powerful information to know and understand and use to help you find clarity in your life, to find clarity in what all this means. And yeah, it's a very important show coming up, so definitely stay tuned for that. And I just wanted to leave you guys with this little message that I said, and I just want to say that I really, really appreciate those who recognize that we are in a war right now, a very brutal war, and it doesn't seem like it so much, but it's an extremely complicated, complex, invisible war going on in the mind. And it is probably, I mean, it's beyond any level of mental destruction that we've ever seen. And I really appreciate those who recognize that we're in a war and are actually speaking up and doing something about it, because man, I see so many people and know so many people who know what's going on in this world and who are not speaking up. And it's terrifying, because it's like, wow, your silence is I mean, it's the color of shit, like, damn, I can't believe that people will actually just stay silent, knowing that, there's all this corruption and people, being just brutally annihilated in their mind and also physically. But, I'm not going to get into that on this show, but I just, anyway, kudos to you. More power to those who are really seeing what's happening and actually doing something. I really appreciate you from the bottom of my heart and my soul, because this is bad. We are in a bad place, and we can do something about it. We can learn this information, we can share it, but we are in a bad place. And it might seem like we're, everything is awesome and normal, but it's not. It's not. We're just sweeping everything that just happened these past couple of years under the rug, most of us, and it's just disgusting to see that. It's disgusting. You think things are just going to get better? No, they're getting worse. People can't see that because they're too busy being entertained. And it's just, man. But anyway, I just wanted to share that. And yeah, if you want to know more about any of this information, you can go to CubbyWhole.com. That's CubbyWhole.com, and you can learn so much more about all this information and then some. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave you with that, and hopefully I'll see you guys again on the next episode. Thanks.